Welcome to Twala Advice videos, where we give you tips and tricks to use regenerative farming. A lot of our videos are based off the Pfumvudza concept, which comes from Foundations for Farming in Zimbabwe, and has also been introduced in Zambia. The principle is that a small plot measuring 16 meters by 39 meters can feed a family of 6 for a year. Check out a wealth of knowledge on their YouTube channel called Foundations for Farming Zimbabwe. We have used their concept but have modified it to suit our own regenerative farming operation, which we call Regenerative Demo Plots. This series will show you how to create your own Pfumvudza plots and use regenerative methods to provide you with enough food for your family for the year. We will walk you through step by step how to plant this method, as well as how to incorporate compost seed treatments, and effective microbes to improve soil health and boost yields. We did not use any chemical inputs like fertilizers, insecticides, or pesticides. Our inputs and pricing. We've used 21 kgs of lime at 34 kwacha, 24 bags of compost at 100 kwacha each, equaling 2,400 kwacha, 5 kgs of maize at 330 kwacha, half a cup of Johnson's Sioux compost at 15 kwacha, and 2 teaspoons of sugar at 5 kwacha. Our total is 2,784 kwacha. Field preparation. First, gather your materials. You will need 4 wooden pegs, 2 lengths of wire markers or string measuring 16 meters and 39 meters, and 4 wire pegs to secure your wire markers or string. First, mark out your plot by using your wire markers or string and pegs. Mark out a straight line measuring 39 meters on one end and 16 meters on the other. To get our spacings, we have used a wire marker with 75 centimeter space markings along our 39 meter line and 60 centimeters along the 16 meter line. If you are using wires, check that they are not twisted. Secure the wire markers in place with pegs. You will now have a field with 75 centimeter spacing along the 39 meter line and 60 centimeter spacing on the shorter 16 meter side. Mark these spaces out with a hoe along both sides. If you don't have wire markers, use a string with bottle tops or knots to mark the planting station spacing. Once you have marked the area, clear out any weeds and grass and level the field before you start digging holes. Digging holes. Start at the top end of the field and dig holes at each station along the 16 meter line to 15 centimeter width and 15 centimeter height. Continue digging until the whole field is finished. Your field will have 52 rows along the 39 meter line and 28 stations along the 16 meter line, totaling 1,456 holes. Applying lime. We have worked on an application rate of 21 kgs of lime for this area. Use a Coke bottle top to measure 2 heaped capfuls for each hole. Continue putting 2 capfuls of lime into each hole for the whole field. Lime is important because it balances the soil. Sometimes our soil gets more acidic or alkaline with the chemical fertilizers and applications that are used. Applying lime to the soil balances it out and allows for the seeds to grow. Applying compost. We have worked on a 1 by 400 gram old bean tin of compost per hole, which translates to 24 bags of bulk compost. Put 1 cup in each hole for the field and cover the compost with a thin layer of soil. Twala can supply you with compost and can arrange for a central drop-off zone to make collection easier. The benefits of using Twala's compost is that it has a microbial balance, it improves water infiltration and water holding capacity, it holds nutrients, and it adds carbon to the soil. All these benefits improve your soil health, which translates to a higher yield from one year to the next. It is important to note that compost is not manure. Manure is a byproduct of animals. It is the excrement of cows, sheep, goats, horses, and chickens, digested organic material that is not broken down. Compost is made from broken down matter, like food scraps, leaves, grass clippings, and other plant materials. It is a very stable soil amendment to add to your crops. The problem with adding manure directly to your fields is that manure has pathogens and the nitrogen in the manure has not mellowed. It means it is too strong for crops and can kill them or affect your yields. Compost has a balance of carbon and nitrogen levels and is already biodegraded, meaning broken down. It is better for your plants as it has the right amount of nutrients. Applying compost to your soil improves the soil by making it loose, meaning plants can break through the surface of the soil when germinated. Compost is also able to absorb more water and store it, which means plants have access to reserved water in dry spells. The nutrients in the compost make the plant's roots strong, which encourages a stronger and more resilient plant. Seed soaking. Before planting our seeds, we soak them in water to accelerate seed germination and increase the proportion of seeds that germinate, meaning a higher yield. It is recommended not to soak them for more than 12 hours, otherwise they will start to rot and may not germinate. To soak your seed, half fill a 20-litre bucket with water. Empty your seed into the bucket. In this video, we used a 5 kg bag of Seedco SC719, late maturity, as we planted on the 27th of November. It is important to speak to your seed suppliers to determine the right variety to plant on what date, as this can affect your yield significantly. Leave to soak for 8 hours. After the 8 hours, drain the seeds from the bucket and set aside. Compost inoculation. Compost inoculation is a mixture of compost, sugar, and water that we mix into our seeds before planting to provide them with extra nutrients so they germinate quickly and encourage healthy plant growth. To make the compost inoculant, measure out half a cup of Johnson Sioux compost. Add enough water to the cup to make a porridge. Use a stick or spoon to mix the compost and water. It is important to not add too much water as the mixture will not stick to the seeds. Add 2 teaspoons of sugar to the mixture. The sugar feeds the compost, which boosts the seeds' growth and health. Empty the compost mix into your 20-litre bucket. Mix the seeds until they are fully coated in the compost mixture. Planting maize seed. Use the seed that you have soaked and inoculated. Place 3 seeds in one hole in a straight line. Cover the seeds with soil. We plant 3 seeds in one hole in case of poor germination. The goal is to have 2 plants per hole for a high yield. Mulching. You can add a layer of mulch to minimize moisture loss and drying out of soil. Mulching is the practice of covering the topsoil surface with organic materials like straw, stover, or other plant residue. This year we did not mulch and we noticed the plants were water stressed. Once covered, wait for germination. Thinning. Once the maize has germinated, it is important to thin 2 to 3 weeks after emergence by removing the weakest seedling. If there are 3 seedlings, remove 1. If there are 2 seedlings, no thinning is needed. It is important to thin your crop to have only 2 plants per hole. If there are 3 plants per hole, they will be competing for nutrients, which will result in lower yields. Top dressing soil. We make our own comfrey EMT as a top dressing and apply this 2 to 3 times in a season. EM comfrey tea is high in calcium and nitrogen. We have a separate video showing you how to do this. Once you have made your tea, apply 1 baked bean tin per planting station to boost your yield. Results. We reaped our maize in May the following year. Our yield was 534.5 kgs, which translates to 8.55 tons per hectare. This is well above the Zambian national average, which according to Zambian Statistical Agency was 1.7 tons per hectare in the 2021-2022 season. This is enough maize to feed a family for a year and sell some as excess.